Uncle Gold Clips.
When I think back, one of the biggest problems that I felt on an emotional level was that I didn't know anyone in the club where I was training. And then I knew the two friends that I started training with, but I didn't know kind of how to get closer to other kids and start communicating with them more. And it was a strange feeling when you did a ball pass, you looked at the person and you kind of felt like there was no connection there. How do you overcome that gap? How do you bring the team together?
Yeah. Well, it's always a tricky one. Like there's a huge difference between coaching senior teams where it's mostly tactical, so you bring players from everywhere and then you just set up a place and then you train. But it's different when it's underage kids, and that's something that you have to be really like. It's not so much about technical and tactical side, but you have to be more from a psychology side. You have to approach it that way. And like you have, if there's a new kid, you have to like your job is to introduce the new kid to all the team, and like it is coaches or whoever's the mentor for them, whatever you want to call it, like it is your job to slowly introduce them in a team. And like
Hmm.
it's not easy. Like you might have some kids who are not very friendly or whatever, but you have to be like I do believe that when I became a parent, my whole basketball coaching, this whole side of this whole psychological side did really improve because I knew how kids react. Like I have a like she's only 2 now, Maria, my daughter, but it really helped me a lot. Where before when I was in Croatia, I had my own basketball academy, but I was only 21, 22. I had no kids. Like it was very hard for me to understand their psychology, but now I do, and it is your job. Like it won't they won't click straight away, but it is your job to slowly introduce them. And I mean, it is a process, but if you're good at it, if you have an understanding of how a child's mind works, it makes it so much easier.
Hmm. Do kids get competitive very easy, or is it something you have to work on with them?
Some of them, yeah, they're some of them are born with it. Like it's so funny, but I mean, yeah, you have to control that. Like sometimes in a group, you might have a kid who's very competitive, and then some other kid is just there for fun, and it is your job, and I mean, it is hard. Like to be honest with you, but it is
Mm.
very rewarding in the end. But yeah, you kind of have to make sure there's balance. But look, I mean, I've done loads of camps, basketball camps here in Ireland. Like what I'm mostly focused now with my own business is I don't do that anymore as such because what I found is like Ireland is not so big in basketball. Like being
Mm.
honest, like it's compared to Croatia, Serbia, it's not so big, and
Mhm.
most of the basketball camps are mostly babysitting. You know, hey, I don't know, do you understand that? But
All right.
and so what I did is I said, okay, I do have experience. I have the knowledge in all this. I know how the pros train. So what I started the DB basketball. That's the name of my company. So what I do is I focus on elite basketball coaching. So
Hmm.
what I do is it's one on one, or it's literally like elite kids who play for Irish national team, but there's no babysitting. This is like, okay, guys, we have 2 or 3 hours. Let's get into it. And that's the way I prefer to work. I don't mind babysitting, but that's not something that I would like to do for the rest of my life. I do want to focus on the really elite, and then obviously doing the sports psychology, which is a huge part of what I do now.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.